thinking. Now, why would anybody do a focus wheel? We would encourage you to do a focus wheel anytime you recognize you've got some offness going on within you. And anytime you've got any kind of negative emotion, you've got some offness going on, some contradiction of who you really are. So that blessed negative emotion is the beginning of every focus wheel, and every focus wheel is going to shift energy. So isn't this a fun thing to know?
Absolutely. It's like a GPS.
And you use those words, that internal guidance system. That's what it is. So now let's say that time has passed, you've been doing other things, and now something has happened. Maybe you see someone who you know could benefit by something that you've learned to do yourself, and you think about talking to them about it, but you feel this time not strong doubt, certainly not fear, but hesitation. You just feel hesitation, and you want to soothe them. You also think maybe you should mind your own business or whatever. And so when you stop to own how you're feeling, so you say to them, oh, you'll be fine. Or you say about them, oh, you'll be just fine. But those are just words. You don't even mean that. What you mean is, I see some things in you that are hindering you that I could help you get over, but I'm chicken to help you get over it because you might misunderstand my motives, or you might think I'm weird. You with us just a little bit? So let's start there. I feel, what's the emotion that happened just now in all of that?
The emotion that I want to feel.
What are you feeling in a situation like that? It's negative emotion, but what is it? How would you describe it? It's not fear, it's hesitation, but what does it feel like? Still insecure?
It feels like I'm not sure that I should be the one to tell them in a position of,
I want to help them.
Yes.
And I want to be an uplifter.
Yes.
But I'm hesitant to do that because
they may have their own path of helping themselves.
Oh, they want to feel better. We want you to really own this, and that's not it yet. So just stay with it till you see if you can figure it out. They might disapprove of me.
Yeah, they might go, oh, that's kind of weird. I don't want to hear from you.
Not only is it weird, it's, what's up with you, weirdo? I know I've been complaining and it looks like I want help, but when you give it to me, I don't really want it. So if you were to really own what your hesitation is about, I might be misunderstood. Isn't that what it is? Didn't we touch the sore spot for most of you? I might be misunderstood. So now you know what your starting place is. I might be misunderstood. Well, what's on the other end of that stick?
Being able to clearly communicate to them and have a vibration that
when I'm tuned with my inner being, then I am understandable. So on the other end of I might be misunderstood, you might say, I want to come from clarity. Or you could hit it more head on. I want to be of value to this person. And my fear is that that person won't let me be of value. But you see, that person is irrelevant to the equation because you're the only one who can cause the wobble. It feels to you that it's about them and their response to you, but it isn't. It's about you and your perceived response of them to you.
Yes.
So now you're going to clean that up because your perceived response to them is the only thing that matters. And so now when you poke at your desire, I'm an uplifter. I was a born uplifter, and I'm good at receiving, and I can go for this. So let's do the focus wheel. I know what I don't want. I don't want to be misunderstood. I know what I do want. I want to help this person. I want to be valuable right now. I want to come from wholeness. I want to come from clarity. Now we've just been poking around. Which of those statements feels like the most solid statement that you want to be the center point of your focus wheel? I am a clear being with infinite resources. I can do this.
Yeah.
So now, boom, just write one word. I am, or something. You don't write all of that. Well, hold on just a second. And you'll get better and better at this the more you do it. So you get that in the center of your focus wheel, and now shore it up with other things that you know, other things that aren't hard to reach for. And now you're there, it'll be easier because you're not there anymore. You're over here in this focus. When I get tuned in, good ideas come. And I really do care about this person. And I know that my inner being cares about this person, and I know this person's inner being cares about this person's, and there's nothing serious going on here. It's just me feeling around for the purpose of soothing. I'm not trying to solve this person's life equation. I'm just trying to soothe them in this moment. I just want to tune in so that I am clear about what I say. I'm not even trying to tune in so that what I say fixes them. I just want to tune in about them, because when I'm not tuned in, when I'm holding them as my object of attention and I'm not tuned in to who they really are, I feel bad. And I think it's their problem, but it's my problem. I'm not doing this focus wheel to make it better for them. I'm doing this focus wheel to make it better for me, since I'm using them as my object of attention. Ooh, we're getting somewhere, aren't we? Hey, you who keeps talking to me about your life, I'm doing quite a bit of work so that I can talk to you without suffering. Because the way you behave evokes all kinds of stuff. I'm thinking all kinds of things that I don't mean to think. I'm feeling things about you that don't feel good to me, so I got to clean you up in me. I got to believe in you, because you keep telling me what you want, and I don't believe in you, because I'm listening to your words instead of to my source. Hey, this is making sense, isn't it? Yeah. So now I'm coming from clarity, and I know that you've got an inner being, and I know that you mean well, and I know that you want more, and I've been there too, and we all are. Little babies can't walk at first, and then they're able to walk. This is no big deal. And isn't this fun? And I really like playing with you, because in playing with you I get clearer too. Now let's go back to the original negative emotion that you were talking about, which was sort of that insecurity. Can you feel how far gone that is? Aren't you now active with an eagerness to be of value to others? But isn't the strongest vibration within you an appreciation of all of them in their inability to understand you? Because in their inability to understand you, you've come to understand you. And doesn't their inability to understand you now become irrelevant? Because your fear was never about their inability to understand you. It was about your wacky perception that they can't understand you, or that them understanding you or not understanding you was a big deal or not a big deal. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. What anybody else thinks about you does not matter at all. It's only what you think about what they think about you that matters. Ooh, this is getting really good. Now there are more people in the world that I can play with. And the ones that misunderstand me the most are my favorites. Because they're the ones that cause me to do the most focus wheels. And every time I do a focus wheel about one of them, ooh, I get so sure and so strong about who I am. So I just walk around and be who I am. And law of attraction brings those who are ready for me to me. And law of attraction never brings those who are not ready for me to me. So now I've cleaned up this insecurity. Those ones don't come anymore. Just the ones that are ready.
So instead of working on the vibration to try to help others, and that being like a nonverbal way of communicating to them, then it's all about the vibration within.
It's all about the energy within you. And what happens after you do 10 or 20 or 40 or 100 or 1,000 focus wheels? Esther was telling a friend the other day that she's pretty sure if she kept every focus wheel, she doesn't, she tosses them almost as fast as she makes them, but she would have to stack this higher thousands of focus wheels, that every focus wheel puts her more in the center of who she is and makes what anybody else is doing or thinking about her less and less relevant. What we began with here today is that the only thing that matters is a mix of vibration within you. And as your life teaches you stuff, and it does, as you interact with others and you see them needing things or wanting things that they don't have, whether it's a better life in terms of physical things or whether it's better life in terms of just feeling better about themselves, as you interact with them and they teach you, they evoke within you a desire to uplift, but there is within you a belief that you can't, or a belief that they're not reachable. And where do you get that? You get that belief because from a place of not being tuned in, you reach to help them and it doesn't work. You get how you feel, you see. Once you do a few of these focus wheels and you feel yourself get movement, like just happened here, your focus wheels gave movement to a room full of people. Everybody's moved on that situation. So now everybody has a vibration of more clarity, and the people that you will attract to you, you are a room full of teachers and uplifters. Now the people that will come to you, at least for a little while till you forget vibrationally what we've accomplished here today, those who will come to you will be more ready for you, and you'll have more satisfying exchanges. But anytime you feel negative emotion, it's a good moment in time, not a bad moment in time, because it's the beginning of another focus wheel. It's the owning of my point of attraction, and therefore an understanding of why I'm getting what I'm getting, whether it's from the world in general or whether it's from that person and that person and that person. If you start getting stuff from a lot of different people, your tendency is to say, oh, they're all watching the same thing on television. No, law of attraction is bringing them to you specifically because you've got an active vibration about that. Now, nice to know.
I'm going to do a lot of focus wheels.
Yeah, and you're going to love every one of them. You're going to love every one of them. And so let's just recap. The beginning of a focus wheel is owning what's off in my gut. This feels bad, and here's why. And once you touch there, the other end of that becomes much more clear. Then it's going to take you a little while to feel around and make that statement. When you do, you'll feel it settle in, but it won't be very strong. The statement will sound good and it will feel like a little bit of relief to you, but then the real work comes in the things that you find that shore that up, and we'd stay with it. Esther was telling a friend the other day that in some focus wheels, even today, but a lot of them in the beginning, it would be sometimes 10 minutes between knowing what I don't want and being able to state what I do want. Took a while, took focus, took a willingness to find the feeling. And then once the statement was made, then she'd shore it up with a statement. And sometimes it would be another 5 minutes between the first thing and the second thing that she would write. But once she'd written one or two, then the next would come and the next would come and the next would come. And before she knew it, she'd filled the whole page up. She goes around the outer edges and writes, and then she fills in all the little blanks until sometimes there's just so much writing on the page that there's no more place to write anything once she really gets rolling. And that's a focus wheel that really has accomplished something, because now you feel different than you did when you sat down to do that, because you are different. You are in vibrational sync with your source, and now you are coming from a whole place. And when you're coming from the whole of who you are, there's no insecurity. And those who are looking for somebody who's coming from the whole of who they are, they begin coming to you, and they're more open and willing to listen, and their progress is more obvious. But if you're coming from insecurity and you just keep attracting those that are ready for insecurity rather than for security, then you just become more and more doubtful of yourself and more doubtful of the laws of the universe, and eventually more and more doubtful of anything that Abraham has to say. And then you become a pessimist that believes that the world is really doomed, and it isn't. It isn't. Enough? Something more?
That's good.
Really good.
Thank you.
Really good.